So in this video, I'm going to be going over the Chapter 2 test review. The first question says, me and my friend are going to the fair. We both get hungry and decide to order food from a local vendor. At this food stand, they sell hot dogs and hamburgers. Hot dogs are $2.50 each and hamburgers cost $5 each. Me and my friend have spent a total of $25. Write an equation in standard form that models the total cost, where X is the number of hot dogs, so that one is X, and Y is the number of hamburgers. So my equation is going to be 2.5x, because that's the cost of hot dogs, 5y, because that's the cost of hamburgers, equals 25. Then the next part says if you and your friend only order hot dogs, how many can you order? So hot dogs is the 250x. So then I want to go ahead and, I want to plug in y, 0 for y, because I don't want to buy any hamburgers. So then I have 2.5x equals 25. I want to go ahead and divide both sides by 2.5. And I get x equals 10. And then I want to figure out if I only order hamburgers, how much that's going to be. I have 2.5. This one I'm going to plug in 0 for hot dogs, and then 5y equals 25. That gives me 5y equals 25. Then I want to divide both sides by 5. I get y equals 5. So there are 5 hamburgers that I can order. Number 2 is telling me I spent $55 on Halloween candy. A bag of chocolate candy costs $5.50 and a bag of gummy candy costs $2.75. The equation 5.5x plus 2.75y equals 55 models this situation where x is the number of bags of chocolate candy and y is the number of bags of gummy candy. So if I only buy chocolate candy, how many bags can I buy? So I'm going to plug in 0 for y. Zero. So that's going to give me 5.5x equals 55. I want to go ahead and divide both sides by 5.5. This gives me x equals 11, so I can buy 11 bags. The next part says if I buy only gummy candy, how many bags can I buy? So this means I'm not buying any chocolate. So I'm going to plug in 0 for x, which gives me 2.75y equals 55. I want to divide both sides by 2.75, which gives me 20. Okay. Number 3 wants me to graph the equations x equals 5 and y equals -7. So x equals 5 is going to go over to 5 on the x-axis, and then this is going to be a straight up and down line. So this is my x equals 5. And then my second line it wants me to graph is y equals -7. So that is a straight across line at -7. Number 4 wants me to find the x and y intercepts of the line. So to find my x-intercept, I plug in 0 for the opposite letter. So I have 4x minus 6 times 0 equals 36. 6 times 0 is 0, so I have 4x equals 36. Then I want to go ahead and divide both sides by 4. I get x equals 9. So I plugged in 0 for y, and I got 9 out for x. Then I'm going to do the same thing for my y-intercept. I'm going to plug in 0 for x. And then I have 4 times 0 minus 6y equals 36. 4 times 0 is 0, so I have -6y equals 36. Then I want to go ahead and divide both sides by -6. I noticed a lot of people on the quiz forgot that this value was negative, so make sure you pay attention to that on the test. This is going to give me y equals -6. So I plugged in 0 for x and got -6 out for y. Okay, moving on to the back, it wants me to determine if the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So I need to go ahead and get my equations both in slope-intercept form. This one's already in slope-intercept form, so I'm good there. Over here, I want to start off by subtracting 3x on both sides. I have 9y equals -3x plus 18. I want to divide out that 9 on each of my terms. So this is going to give me y equals negative 1/3. I can simplify that on my calculator if I don't remember. So let me grab my calculator really quick. So if I have negative 3 divided by 9, I type that in, then I press math, fraction, enter, which gives me negative 1/3. And then 18 divided by 9 is 2. So I want to compare the slopes. These two are not the same number, so that means they're not parallel. To be perpendicular, I want to multiply these two values together. And if they equal negative 1, which they do, they are perpendicular. Number 6 wants me to find the slope of the table, so I'm going to pick 2 points and find my change in x and find my change in y. So I'm going up 2 for my x, and I'm going down 10 for y. This is going to be negative 10 over 2, which gives me negative 5. Right here, I always want to remember to do my change in y over my change in x. Okay. Number 7 wants me to graph this equation. It's in point-slope form, so I want to identify my point and my slope. My slope is negative 2, and my point is going to be opposite the sign, negative 3, and then opposite the sign here, positive 3 for the y value. So I'm going to start off by plotting my point. I'm going to go left 3, up 3, and then my slope is negative 2, so I go down 2 over 1 for my second square, and then I connect my 2 points. On number 8, it wants me to find the slope that is perpendicular to this. Perpendicular means opposite reciprocal. So opposite reciprocal means opposite sign. So this one was positive. My perpendicular is going to be negative. And reciprocal means I flip that fraction. So 4 over 1, which simplifies to just 4. So my perpendicular slope is negative 4. Number 9 wants me to write an equation in slope-intercept form. So that one is y equals mx plus b. Of the line that passes through these 2 points, which I'm going to label x1, y1, x2, y2. I need to use my slope formula here, which remember is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So plugging in, that is going to give me 8 minus 9 over 0 minus negative 3. That is going to be negative 1 on top, positive 3 on the bottom. Then I want to plug into my point slope form, because I have a point and a slope, so I have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So I have y minus, my y1 is 9, my slope is negative 1/3, x minus negative 3. First thing I want to do is get rid of that double negative, so I have y minus 9 equals negative 1/3, x plus 3. Then I want to go ahead and distribute that negative 1/3. So I have y minus 9. Distributing this negative 1/3, I have negative 1/3 x, and then negative 1/3 times 3 is negative 1. When I add the 9 to both sides, I have y equals negative 1/3 x plus 8. For my last question, I want to write the equation in point slope form, so that's this form. And it gives me my point, which is negative 3, negative 3, so that's my x1, y1. My slope is 2, that's my m. So I'm going to plug in, I have y minus negative 3 equals 2 times x minus negative 3. All I want to do when it wants it in point slope form is get rid of my double negative, so that's going to be y plus 3 equals 2 times x plus 3.